So the answer is it's multifactorial. And let's start with the most obvious factor of them all. Persona is just easier to consume. The high school settings, the way overused anime tropes, and the uwu senpai daisuki desu dating simulator stuff is way easier to digest, is more familiar, is more straightforward than the themes present in SMT. Beating the bad guy with the power of friendship is something you've done before. There's no need to get out of your comfort zone. Not to say that SMT is some sort of arcane codex that may only be deciphered by some higher being, or that SMT fans are smart while Persona fans are dumb. All I'm saying is that the latter is just easier to get into, and thus more appealing to a wider audience. Another factor is one I like to call media accessibility. Persona is more accessible media wise, and one aspect of this is the name. Sure, both are Japanese anime products, but only one of them has an actual pronounceable name in languages other than Japanese. There's an ongoing meme in the SMT community about its pronunciation. Remember Shin Megami Tensei? Persona doesn't have that problem, and sure, this sounds very silly to people who are already inside the community, but I think the average consumer that just knew Joker from Smash wouldn't be so eager to play these games if they were called Megami Iburoku Persona Go instead. I know that this may seem like a weak argument, and unfortunately, we don't have like a focus group or marketing insights for an actual case example, so let's move to an even sillier but not so faint argument. Difficulty. Persona is Pokemon easy, and that sucks for someone like me who loves getting my ass kicked. But that's something that doesn't bother the average Joe, who's here mainly for the waifus, the plot, and the anime in the first place. In fact, it may even be attractive to not have to deal with the gameplay and just enjoy the cutscenes. Now, looking to the other side, the community has memed that SMT4 review a lot. You know, the one where SMT is called the Dark Souls of JRPGs. But that's not just the delirium of one game journalist. The SMT series has a reputation of being quite challenging. And while my personal answer to that would be to just get good, it's not crazy to propose that this may drive some people away from the franchise and to the arms of another franchise, such as Persona. One other thing is the ease of marketing and the visual appeal. Even back in Persona 3 and 4, stuff like the UI was a lot more aesthetically pleasing than their contemporary SMT games. Kids crushing cars with a cool light in the background, kids shooting themselves in the head. That's a lot more marketable and more appealing to a wider audience than what SMT had to offer back then. Time passes, and now both Persona 5 and Reload
Beautiful.
completely annihilate whatever Redux or Vengeance tried to do in terms of aesthetics and visual marketability. And not only that, not only Persona takes advantage of its top-notch art direction, but the SMT marketing team is just bad. Let's look at an example. Demons are the ones who made SMT the franchise it is. And when I saw those amazing daily Demon trailers for 5, I got so excited watching them, and also so disappointed. Why weren't such amazing trailers that showcase the main thing your franchise has to offer not also available for non Japanese audiences? Like, yes, there were videos with subtitles, but why weren't these both English dubbed and also posted all over Atlas's social media accounts? Why weren't you showcasing these masterclasses of character design? What the fuck is wrong with you? Moving on. One other point I wanted to make is that Persona has way more media exposure. And I mean media not related to their games. It kind of sucks, but this whole thing works with a the rich get richer type of scheme. You first get an anime, then you get collabs with mobile games, then you get a collab with frigging Smash, concerts, plays, manga, some other collabs. It's an insane transmedia snowball. And on the other side, SMT has that Devil Survivor 2 anime that nobody likes, that very obscure 90s Devil Summoner live action, as well as some manga, I guess. Also, let's remember that all other media Persona gets is just from P3, P4, and P5, while SMT has decades and decades of games, but got so little in comparison. Now, let's move to actual accessibility, and this is a quite more recent development. The mainline Persona games were made available to more platforms instead of being in console jail, and that straight up boosted their reach and appeal to a far bigger audience. And I mean major release titles. I know SMT got multi-platform Nocturne HD, but I'm sorry, Nocturne Bros. Newer titles are the ones that drive the most attention, and Persona just got more of that. Yes, Persona 5 started as a PS3/PS4 exclusive, but the sheer popularity it had kind of laid the ground for Royal to feel like a new release popularity wise. That momentum also helped Persona 4 Golden to see a fantastic reception when it got out of beta jail, and Reload just expanded that way further. Meanwhile, SMT5 was stuck in Switch jail and experienced good sales and a nice reception when Vengeance was released as a multi-platform game. But the momentum just wasn't there. Make no mistake, 5 and Vengeance were great sales-wise, and talking about that, let's wrap this up. So to summarize, easier to consume, easier to access, and better media exposure. I feel like these are solid reasons to explain why Persona is more popular than SMT. As for which of these reasons weigh more in the public, or if there are some other reasons, that's pretty hard to tell. We don't have access to much hard data or a big marketing analysis of some sorts. I apologize if I sound like I'm pulling arguments out of my ass, but I just don't have access to better resources for this analysis. Still, I'm more than happy to have any of these viewpoints challenged. As for myself, I feel like the future is actually quite bright for SMT. Let's go back. Let's look at 5 and Vengeance. 1.6 million units sold. That's pretty damn good for SMT standards. Way good actually. I don't think the upcoming Raido remaster is going to shake the ground or anything, but I'm pretty damn optimistic for SMT6 or the next mainline SMT game. Just imagine, multi-platform since day one, an actually good marketing campaign, having the game play to its biggest strength, the demons. I don't know, man. I just feel like SMT isn't going to be overshadowed by Persona for too long. And for one, I'm glad about that. Anywho, thanks a lot for watching. I'd really appreciate it if you could help the channel by subscribing, and have a nice day.